Good morning. We have the 10 pounds of 73% ground beef, 5 pounds of 73% ground beef, and 1 pound of 93% ground beef. I've got all those lean ground beefs, and I'm going to start incorporating them in to get rid of them. But I can mix them in with the fatty and then add the fat, and it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. Together, maybe it'll be 80%. I dropped the lid. I'm very sad. I'm going to have to get a new crock pot. I'm sure you could probably buy a crock pot lid. But it's funny, they're really made for the one you buy. Because like I've mixed them up before, and this one's seated pretty well. But I've switched them before. And it's like they don't really fit and cover all the way. So anyway, I do not season my meat when I cook it. I use mine later for the dogs. I use it as broth over the dog's dry food. So you will see that I don't cover my meat, or I don't season my meat. Yes, I know it would taste so much better if I seasoned it while it was cooking. But again, I use the broth. And also, I don't know what I'm going to eat for the day half the time. Some days I want the Paula Deen silly salt. Some days I want umami. Some days I want my turmeric and other seasonings. So I never know what I want to eat until I'm making it up. So this way I can season it based on what kind of mood I'm in. So yeah, I do not season my meat when it's cooking. I come in every hour and I will chop it up. The first time I wait 2 hours because it's just so gummy and so not cooked. So I wait for 2 hours the first time, oftentimes. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. So I'm going to set the timer for 2 hours, and I'll come back and chop it up. I've got it on low today. Some days I do high, but today I'm doing low. We'll do the butternut squash and turnips later. It's only 5:30 in the morning. I'm not awake enough for that stuff. I did my coffee again. I microwaved 20 ounces, poured it into this, and shook it up. And I can't tell the difference when it's fresh and not fresh, I'm not going to lie. So, but there it is. So, and it's not gummy. Like I said, I think it's because I do not have the collagen in it anymore. So this is 1/2 scoop of protein powder, 1 stick of chocolate element salt, and 2 tablespoons of instant coffee. And that's what I've got for my coffee going today. Hey there, sorry for the weird angle, but my counter over there is covered with crock pots. So I told y'all my sweet mother picked up some turnips and this butternut squash at her church. And people didn't have a garden, they bring in foods as they have extra. So I cut this butternut squash in half, and I've watched a few videos and some of them in the past I remember I cut it up into cubes, but I think this time I'm going to roast it. In the videos they do a lot of I saw where they drizzle oil over it and salt and pepper it, but I don't want to put oil on it. I just want to do it plain. So I cut it in half long ways, and right now I'm just cleaning out the inside of it. Just like a pumpkin. And I know I've read that you can do stuff with the seeds. You can roast the seeds and stuff, but I'm okay with not doing that. I just want the meat of the butternut squash. In the past, I've used butternut squash. I think it's really good. It's kind of like almost like a sweet potato, but a whole lot less carbs. But in case you missed it the other day, 140 grams is 63 calories and 13.6 carbohydrates. So it is a high carbohydrate food, but like I said many times, Vegetables is not what my problem was. I'm not going to drizzle any oil. I've got my oven set on 350. So I'm going to put them in just like this. I'm not going to do anything to them. I don't want to season them or anything until I get them cooked. And then I'm going to scoop it out and see how that works. These are this is 3 of the 4 turnips that I had. There was 4, but one of them was all black inside. And again, those are some that Mom picked up from church. So the masher that I used last time is being used with my ground beef, and I don't want raw ground beef in with my cooked turnips. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to try this blender thing that I have. We're going to see how it works. Don't judge if it splatters everywhere. This thing was wrapped up still from the original. I've never used it, so we will see. We're going to see how she goes. Let's see how it works. Okay, so 1 is the lighter one and 2 is the faster one. If you recall, last time I made the turnips, I used just a splash of heavy cream. But my heavy cream was outdated, so I don't think I've gotten any more. Hang on, let me look. Nope. So, this is what we're going to use instead. A little Raoul's Alfredo sauce. Why not? I don't have any butter. Well, I do, but they're all frozen, so I'll use a couple tablespoons of this. That'll give it a good, fun flavor. If I can... get this off. All of the pieces are mushed up now well, so it's good enough to just do with the spoon. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I did not put any salt or pepper, so I will need to do that here in a second. There it is mushed up. So let's see what I know it needs salt, but yeah, gives a good creamy texture. Hang on, here's my salt. This is not a what I eat in a day video, but for breakfast, I had 2 eggs, 2 servings of like those bacon pieces that I use, and then I had 2 Egg Life wraps and a half a serving of shredded cheese. So with my coffee, I think it all ended up being about 400 something calories. So we'll see how the eggs and stuff works. It's all going to be an experiment. We're going to try it one day at a time, and we're going to see what we eat, and then we'll see the results in a couple weeks. See if we maintain or lose or what. But you know me, I'm going to check every day. All right, let's see what we think. No more salt. I'm telling you, if you're sleeping on the turnips or jicama, either one, I think they both are so really good. And if you're sleeping on that, man, you better get on that bandwagon. Just look at that. There you go, mashed turnips. You're missing that mashed potato texture. Yep, that's good. Now I'm going to go on and put this in 200 gram servings. But yeah, if you're sleeping on the turnips, man, get you some, peel them, you slice them, whatever you want to do. You can fry them in your skillet, you can boil them, and just, it's really actually a good vegetable and not as high carb as a potato. And if you need a refresher on how I do my stuff, I weigh everything to be the same weight, so I never have to question anything. I just automatically weigh it all to be the same, and then I can just copy and paste what I ate from one day to the next. Again, my base is always the same weight of ground beef, but then I change it up with the seasonings that I use. So I'm always got the same calories and weight of my ground beef, and then I can just copy it right over to the next day, because I always want my base calories to come from the meat. Or I should say the majority of my calories I want to be from the meat, from that fatty protein. So I really try to focus and make sure as much, because I don't want to be hungry, and that ground beef keeps me from getting hungry. These are all three right at 190. So if I plug in 200, it ain't gonna kill me. It just might be 5-10 calories different, but that's okay. I'm not worried about 5 or 10 calories. And on the good side, it's less. It would be 5 or 10 calories less than what I plug in. So see, now I don't have to label these with how much is in them. All I have to do is put what is in them. So that way I know the difference between the turnip and the jicama. So with these, I put a T, T, T. And I already know it's 200 grams. I just have to plug into my app, is it 200 grams of turnip or is it 200 grams of jicama? And then I'll just pop these three in the freezer. And now I don't have to worry about, is my vegetables going to go bad? Will they be okay? What's going to happen to them? So I'm going to put these in the freezer, and I'll get back to you when the butternut squash is done. I'm going to pull the butternut squash out when it's fork tender. I don't know how really else to tell, so I'm just going to poke it with a fork every now and then and see. Okay, this ground beef has been cooking. I don't know, it's 8:30. I think I started at 5:30. I don't remember. But it's just going to cook until I feel like it's done. But it's still pink, really pink, like raw pink in the middle. So I'm still coming in every hour and chopping it up. And I'm going to do it just like I do every week. Or what I've been doing every week when it comes to it. I'm going to do 1 ounce of the rendered fat and 7 ounces of the actual meat. And I'll weigh it out again so that every day it's the same thing and I won't have to question, what do I plug in? That's my kind of meal prep. Then if I wanted to do anything like turn it into chili, I could saute up some onions and peppers and add it to the meat with a little bit of liquid if I wanted to. But the base of the meat is always the same. It's going to be 8 ounces of 73% ground beef. I know this one's kind of hard to see because it's the camera angle. But if you can really see in here, like this is kind of gummy. It's not done yet for sure. And for those of you who have a family, you can crock pot your ground beef and then freeze it in whatever amounts works for your family. And then when it's time for you to make your family meal, you know, have it defrosted. And then you could put this in your skillet and kind of pan fry it a little bit to give it that more crispier texture. This is more of a soft ground beef texture. This is not that pan fried with that seared type on each little piece. This is just basically like boiled ground beef, which it works well for me because I don't have anybody else and I don't care. So, so for you, if you have a family, something you really might do would be to just have it to where, you know, you pull out your serving and then saute it in your skillet a little while, or fry it in your skillet, kind of give it that texture. Then you can add your seasonings for tacos. You could add your seasonings for spaghetti. You could add whatever you want to do, but just by doing this piece every weekend, that's less than you have to do during the week and less cleanup. So, yep, that's what I got going on. And again, I did not season either one of these. I don't season it because of the dogs. And because I want to season it when I get there. Although I could see if I didn't have dogs, I'd put something like onions in it or mushrooms in it, stuff like that. But, you know, that's poisonous to dogs. So I just do it plain Jane, and there we go. Hey there. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I think I said that a while ago. First off, I'm just going to get it out and into a bowl. And then I'll let it cool down. And then I'll probably mash it up, but first I just need to get it out. So I'm going to take a spoon. I just took it out, so it's hot, hot, hot. I might have to let it cool and then do it. I'm not sure. My meat is done, so I was going to do this first. And then the meat. But it's going to be messy. And it's hot, and I don't want to burn myself. So maybe I will let these sit over here. And I'll come back to it when it cools. Let's change up. Got to be flexible on meal prep days, y'all. Got to be flexible. So we're going to set this over on my stove, and I'll show you how I do my ground beef. Alright. Hang on, I'm going to get stuff together. Alright, I told y'all that I measure everything and weigh everything so that way it can be the same throughout the week. So, I've been doing 1 ounce of the rendered fat. I did not add water to it this week. I'd like to know how much is 1 ounce. How much is 1 fluid ounce? I know I always grab that thing, but I'm kind of curious. I think I've done this before. I don't remember what it was. Let's do one of my little, this is the scoop I use for my protein powder. I've got one of them. Let's see if it's one of these or not. Oop. Maybe if this would have been full all the way, it would have been 1 ounce. All right. So 1 ounce of the rendered fat along with 7 ounces of the ground beef. Now the ground beef still has some rendered fat in it because I don't strain it all the way. But that's just kind of my way of getting a little extra fat. If I'm going to take credit for it, you know, by plugging it in, I might as well get it. Plus it helps stay fuller longer and all that good stuff. So there we go. And I've actually been thinking what I might do. Hang on. So the 1 ounce of rendered fat, 7 ounces of ground beef for a total of 8 ounces. I pulled out my salsa and my mushroom onion pepper blend thing. While these are hot, instead of beating them up and putting them in, you know, when the meat's frozen to make it fit, I'm going to put some in some of these. I'll do half with these because I like it at my lunchtime. And then at my supper time, I'm home so I can do more things with supper. So at my lunches, I'll just have them on one side and then the other on the other side. It'll still be I could still be the same weight of meat, and I don't have to think about all that. But I'll just know the one side has these little things in it, and they'll be all ready for my lunch. And all I gotta do is grab it and go. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put these little frozen things on my lunch side. Okay. So here's what we got with the meat. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 days worth, and 6 days worth in the back, and then 2 more. So I already had 5 that were plain. So 6, 12, 13. I have 14 days worth of meals right there. So I will not have to cook meat next week. Today's Saturday. So I've got a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then 14 more. So I will not have to do meat next week. And I still have that many. Some are jicama, some are turnips. I still have that many vegetables left that I usually eat with the supper. So I may not have to meal prep next week at all. Anyway, I'll show you what's left for the butternut squash. Also, like I said, this side is none of the salsa or onion, pepper, mushroom little things that I made. This side has them. So I would be able to just kind of look and see if they have them or not. So anyway, so that's my routine. And yeah, I just wanted to show you. So that's what I got for the 16 pounds of ground beef. You know me, I never try anything before I come and show y'all what I'm doing. So heaven forbid I start now. Let's just see how it works. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll try it together. Let's see. Do we want to try maybe peeling it? That's my dryer telling me I need to come downstairs and change the clothes over. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Hang on. So I'm going to take a knife and just kind of gently peel off the outer piece. It comes off real easy. I could probably scoop it too, but this seems like it'll be a little bit easier. Here you go. I'm speeding it up so that way it's a whole lot faster, and you don't have to hear a squeak, squeak, squeak as it does it real fast. But anyway, I'm peeling it so that way it can all be ready, and I can chop it up and mash it up, and it'll be ready to put in containers, and I'll show that next. Oh, that's so good. All right, I got to pause you because I got to wash my hands. So this definitely is not mushable soft. I could have cooked it a little longer. That's okay. It'll still be definitely yummy. And I think I still have the cinnamon out from last week when I was doing the turnips. So let's put a empty one up here and see how much. I think I said last, I did it based on 140 grams. So let's see what 140 grams of butternut squash looks like. All right. Let's see, let me find it. Hold on. Oh, maybe I did put it away. Hold up. All right, what is in pumpkin pie spice? Hang on. Cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, and cloves. So, I don't need the cinnamon or ground nutmeg. We'll just put a little allspice in there. And I'm going to put a lid on it. And I'll just give it a little shake. Let the seasonings get all through it. Yeah, that's spread around pretty good. That's how it looks. It smells good. Let's see how just a little tiny taste of it tastes, because I don't want to take it too far from 140. All right. Yeah. That'll be something fun and different. Now to label this, I'm going to call it BNS 140. So butternut squash 140. Because I haven't plugged it into Chronometer yet. So this way, once I get it plugged in, I'll know just to continue it with that. BNS 140. BNS 140. All right, now hold up. Let's put it all in this one. I'm gonna see if I can kind of chop it up a little bit and kind of break it up just somewhat, so it's not such big chunks. And it's gonna go in the freezer, and then it's gonna defrost, so it'll get some ice crystals, and it'll, you know, it always changes the texture when after I've frozen and defrosted things. So that's just how it rolls. So now it's got 140 grams in this one. Let's see, that's 130. All right. Yep, my fingers are yucky, so let me do this one. It's funny when things work out pretty good, like for the amounts, you know. Like that was pretty good. It filled up these two. Put in some what I say this is? Pumpkin pie spice. And I'll get the lids on them. Like I didn't know if it would fill 2 or 3 or 4 or what, but worked out well. Then that last little bit there I could eat on right now. I'm not gonna lie, I don't count on, or I don't do a whole lot of tracking on Saturdays. I just grab I eat the same things that I eat during the week, so I just don't plug them into Chronometer. So there we go. Butternut squash, 140 grams. And I'll put those in the freezer. And for this, I'm gonna put a little and one time I bought a pumpkin and tried this. Oh, pumpkin is not very good. It is not as sweet as pumpkin or as butternut squash. At least it wasn't to me. So yeah, we got it. Sorry, hang on. Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's got good flavor. So I'm going to enjoy that as a side at my suppers. I got coffee to make up, but I'll do that tomorrow. So I'll show you that tomorrow. We're done for the day. All right. Have a good day. Hope some of this helps you. Helps you kind of process how you could do it and how you could make sure you measure before you put it away so you don't have to think, because I don't like to think. I just want to think one time and that's it. So now I can just grab, plug it in, and be done with it. I wouldn't have to plug it in, and I stopped for a while, as some of you old ones will remember, because I eat the same thing all the time, and so I quit plugging it in. But I know people were asking for me to plug it in, and now I need to, so I can see how it's doing with adding some calories back. So, all right, there you go. See you tomorrow.